Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com here in San Antonio, here at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention with, I would say, one of the more low-key, measured, quiet members of the coaching fraternity here in the state of Texas. Stephen F. Austin, coach. Colby Carthel, coach. It's good to see you. You snuck up on me.
I try to do that from time to time.
Real low-key guy. First and foremost, we were talking before we went on the air. Just imagine, it feels great for me to be here. I imagine for a coach and a coaching junkie like you are, that this has just got to be just hog heaven to be just back here in person.
It really is. It's great to have COVID, in our rearview mirror. But, just as a coach, in Division I, NCAA with all their infinite wisdom, they shut us down for a year and a half of recruiting. Mm-hmm. D2 and D3 coaches have been out and been in high schools, and we haven't been. And so just June 1st, they released us, but it was a dead period. We couldn't. So this is our first time as a staff to be out and kind of interact with all our high school coaching buddies at THSCA. And so it's extra special this year just to be out and say, hey, we're still around and you are too. It's good to see you again. Great year last year and just interact and it's a great fraternity.
Well, and you mentioned the recruiting aspect of it, that it is so difficult because of the restrictions that you guys were under. And so I guess my question is, how did you stay engaged? Because you still got to field a team. You still got to go and get some quality players there to play for the Jacks. Like, how did you stay engaged with these guys?
I think just this fraternity, THSCA, and our staff, and I've been a college coach now in this state for 22 years, and my dad before that, and so just a lot of relationships, and we fell back on that, because now you're picking up the phone and without doing camps, without doing home visits, without doing school visits, you're really having to lean on the high school coach. And that's what's so great about straight line recruiting. But, you're having to do it now through phone. And, Coach Tepper, are you sure, is this a good kid? 22 years of relationship, you're not getting sold a bill of goods. And so we felt really good about the class we were able to put together at SFA and moving forward even through that pandemic recruiting.
Well, and you guys had certainly had a unique 2020 season. You guys kind of, I don't want to say go rogue, but you guys go and you do your own thing. You schedule games, kind of an outlaw schedule, as six-man folks call it.
You bet.
And put it together and go out there and play some games and win some games and say, we're going to stay on schedule. They say in journalism, don't ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the right move for y'all?
It was, and that's what, when it happened, we did what was best for us. And I think that whether it's football or journalism or just, somebody back home, everybody during the pandemic did what was best for them and their families and their businesses and their universe. And for our program, that was what we needed to do. We were banned from the postseason from the previous regime and all this, so we couldn't go to the playoffs if we wanted to. I had no intention of putting our guys through 2 full seasons in 1 calendar year. Mm-hmm. Some people did, and we'll see how that's still to be determined how that works out. There's some guys that just got through playing 10 games 2 months ago and fixing to play, 10 or 15 more. So we did what was best. We're a young team. We knew we needed to play. We needed to learn how to win, and we were able to do that. We played the rogue schedule, put it together in about 2 weeks, played 4 FBS schools, and we're very competitive in those games. And then every FCS or D2 team we played, we won. The games we were supposed to win, we won. So for us in SFA, the Lumberjacks learned how to win. And 6-4, first winning season in nearly a decade. We got that behind us. That's a big step for us. Felt like we were a good team, but then we had the off season in the spring, summer access, and so now that young team, everybody's been excited to watch. They're starting to, fill out a little bit. 3 of them, I think, started shaving this summer. So, we may have a chance to make some noise this year.
Well, and it's interesting that you bring that up because this, you mentioned that your Lumberjacks learned how to win. What did you learn about your Lumberjacks? What did you learn about this roster that you've helped to assemble here?
Just that they're so resilient, and we knew it was going to be a tough job when we took over there at the end of 18, and it was, and there were some things, some punches we didn't see coming just with the academic and NCAA stuff that we inherited. But, when they hit us with a postseason ban, been there a year and a half, we're in a COVID break, everybody's on Zoom, and we had to tell our team we're banned from the postseason. Usually, you lose half your team to it's open season. We didn't have a single kid transfer out. And I knew then our culture was right, and we still had some growing to do, but our culture was right. And we told them through this pandemic, this thing's going to make excuse makers out of a lot of people and champions out of a few. And we're determined to be champions. And, we crowned ourselves Southland Conference champions of the fall. Us and Abilene played. We beat ACU, so we're champs of the fall. But we're talking about bigger fish to fry than just that. And I think you'll see that this fall and moving forward with our program where we're able to compete and take that next step going from good to great.
Well, and speaking of which, you guys are on the move. Moving over to the WAC, to a new conference, going over there as kind of the part of the Texas 4, moving over there. I'm interested in what those conversations are like within the program about a new conference and a new, kind of new conference. You're
right.
familiar with a number of these teams that are coming, but what are the conversations like within the program about that?
Very, very excited,
yeah.
And just, kind of aligning ourselves with like-minded universities. I think it's going to pay huge dividends, not just for SFA football, but for our athletic department and our school in general. And just so much more exposure and just a conference that's moving, forward. And that's kind of what we were looking for with the Texas 4 that left. And so it'll be a unique year this year, playing for a WAC championship and then the AQ7 for automatic qualifying, playing Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville State, and Central Arc, and then moving forward, you'll continue to see teams add to the WAC, and WAC's got such great history, Heisman Trophy winners, national champions, and everything else, and so it really has already started paying dividends in recruiting. I promise you, just the brand of the WAC.
Well, and you guys bring back a lot of really exciting playmakers. Guys like Xavier Gibson, guys like Trey Self, guys who are big time playmakers. Do you feel like this? The offense I thought looked pretty good at times last year. Do you feel like it's got another step that it can take this year?
Most definitely. We played some really good football, especially there about week 7, 8, 9 there towards the end of the year, and we were pretty beat up there, and with opt-outs and everything, COVID now, it was a limited roster, and we were really playing some good football. So I look at across, like I was saying earlier, their bodies have changed. We finally had an off season. We hadn't had one all year or in our tenure there. Their bodies are changing, and we have got 100-something out there at summer workouts, and like 84 of them are freshmen and sophomores. So the bulk of our team is still really, really young on paper, but they've got a lot of game experience, and so I think we're going to have a really good team this year. But we've built this thing to win forever, and we've watered the roots, not the leaves, since we've been there, and recruiting Texas high school football players and really investing in that. Some people live in the transfer portal, some live in high schools, and this is the path we've chosen because we're going to build a great program that's going to win for a long time.
Oh, finally, Coach, folks who follow your social media presence know that you are a big fan of the hashtag Be a Big Coach.
You bet.
You're big eater. And so I'm going to ask you the most controversial question I'm going to ask you, which is, let's just say the last year or so, what's been the MVP stop on the Be a Big Coach Colby Carthel tour?
Man,
I told you,
good ones.
I told you, I'm a tough question.
I had to work there, so there's a couple of nights we fired up the Big Green Egg, and when you're stuck at home, that was really good. I still one of the best nights is just when you grab a big old bag of Julio's chips and Julio's salsa and just go to town there. Shoot, there's some good ones out there. I'm fixing to put on a show here later today in San Antonio, so stay tuned on that one. So there'll be one that hits the Twitter. But if it's worthy to get a post, if you can't be a big time coach, be a big coach. If it's worthy of a post, it's worthy you stopping and eating, I promise you.
Okay,
and that's non-promoted. I don't get paid to do this.
Yeah.
Well, I get paid in calories intake.
Well, not yet you don't. Let's be weird.
Name, image, and likeness.
That's exactly right.
Baby.
You are available
Come on
for
now.
it. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations on a fantastic 2020.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.